In today's video, we're on the Pit Boss and we're smoking up some chuck rolls. Hey, this is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue of Wisconsin, and welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, we try to help you enhance and amplify your backyard barbecue fun. In today's video, we're on the Pit Boss and we're smoking some chuck roast. Now, these two chuck roasts were limited. That's all they had in their meat case, so beggars can't be choosers. But I was way too excited to use that 1836 beef rub, and I didn't care, and I was gonna put some smoke on them, even if they were just shoe leather. Now, typically I'm looking for a little leaner cut on a chuck roast. Not as much fat, because that usually means there's gonna be a little bit more grizzle in that meat. The kids love pulled beef, and it makes a great snack from when they come home from school. Plus, it's a great dinner. So grab your bag of pellets, Lucas. We're gonna smoke some chuck roast. In today's video, we're smoking up a couple Angus Choice Cut chuck roasts. Now, a choice cut is a decent cut, so don't worry about always having to have prime when you're gonna smoke up some pulled beef. And a lot of times I don't even put it on a bun. I just take the pulled beef and throw some vinegar sauce on it, and that's my meal. Maybe a little corn or some tater tots. And we're gonna use some of this Suckle Buster's 1836 beef rub. We're not gonna layer the flavors and put any SPG or anything like that on it. This has enough pepper and salt in it, and we're just gonna do a taste test on this 1836 from Suckle Buster's. Let's get these seasoned up. We're gonna cover them, tappity tap. See, there's some paprika in here. Flip them over. Now, these were in the fridge for a couple days. Ain't gonna hurt them. Get the sides. Don't forget the ends. I like to always get as much off this cutting board as I can. Now, this is a big chunk of meat, so don't worry about getting too much seasoning on it. Ain't gonna hurt it. The chuck roasts are all seasoned up. I'll meet you out by the Pit Boss. All right, we're out at the Pit Boss, and today they're talking about a chance of snow, maybe a rain mixture. So to be on the safe side and make sure that I was able to film this, I decided to do it right in the garage. Whip open the door, let the smoke roll out. Now I'm gonna start up the Pit Boss and just turn it just to smoke. Now we're gonna leave it on smoke for 1 hour. That way we can get as much penetration of that flavor from the pellets into these chuck roasts as we can. And for today's cook, we're using the Pit Boss Cherry, Apple, and Maple blend. They call it the fruit blend. Now she's starting to smoke up a little bit, and that's okay. I can always turn a fan on and blow the smoke out if I have to. But I've done it before when it's been pouring rain out, and it works fine. It's not as nice as being outside, but I can't get a suntan today anyways because it's cloudy out, so oh well. The thing is though, when anybody drives by, they always think, is his garage on fire? But I just wave to them and say, it's okay, I'm a loser. I don't have one of those nice gazebo things. All right, so the Pit Boss is burning clean now. Let's go ahead and get these chuck roasts in. We're gonna put them right in the center. Now this chuck is a little smaller, so we'll go ahead and put the bigger one on the hotter side. Okay, we'll go ahead and string our probes through. Get it right in this nice thick part right there. That'll work. And this part right about there. Close the lid and set a timer for 1 hour. Then we're gonna go ahead and turn the Pit Boss up to 225 degrees. All right, I'll be back in an hour. I wanna take a second here right before we go ahead and turn this Pit Boss up and unveil another gift from a viewer. I wanna thank Nick. It's awesome and I really appreciate it, and now I got a spot to put it. We got another Dead Broke Barbecue sign. This thing is awesome and I really appreciate it, and we're gonna go ahead and hang it in here because in the wintertime, I might be cooking in this garage a little bit more than I typically do. All right, let's get her on. Ta-da! I think it looks pretty good there. What do you guys think? Now my plan is to go ahead and color that one up and put some lights behind it. Thanks again, bro. I really appreciate it. It looks awesome there. Our 1 hour timer went off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up to 225 degrees now. Plus I put some water in this cast iron bread pan, and I'm gonna put it in the Pit Boss because the last time I smoked up some chuck roast, it seemed a little drier than normal. So we're just gonna go ahead and add some moisture to this cook. I'm just gonna place this right on the left-hand side here. And go ahead and turn her up to 225. Oh, they're starting to get a little bit of smoke on them. Close up the lid. We're gonna set a timer for 30 minutes, and that way we can go ahead and rotate these chuck roasts 180 degrees so we can get them to even out on their cooking temperatures. And then once we hit 160 degrees internal temperature on these chuck roasts, I'm gonna go ahead and finish them off in a foil pan. Trust me, You don't have to wrap them with aluminum foil. Just throw them in a pan, put some foil on top, call her good. Man, that smoke smells good. I might just sit out in the garage the rest of the day. Kick up a lawn chair, grab a beer can. Obviously, when you're doing a low and slow, you got a lot of time on your hands. So it's a great time to get outside and exercise. And just walk around. Might as well. What else are you gonna do? Sit on the couch and play Nintendo? All right, so our 30-minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and spin these 180 degrees. But before you touch that wire grate, make sure you get yourself a good set of grilling gloves. These are made by Grill Grates and they're awesome. They keep your hands protected when you're gonna go ahead and touch something hot in the pit. Open up the pit boss. Let's go ahead and spin these. Starting to get some good color, turning that nice mahogany red. Let's adjust that a little bit. All right, close up the lid. On the pit boss, the fire pot's right in the center. And because I'm cooking two of them, and the way I have them on there, I know I'm gonna have to rotate a little bit. You could lay them right on the rack, but I like cooking on that wire rack. It keeps it off the grates a little bit, and I think it gets just a little bit more smoke flavor on the underside of our chuck roast. Now go ahead and set a timer for 30 minutes, and you're gonna come back out and start probing just to see how those chuck roasts are cooking. We wanna have an even cook throughout, so you might have to adjust them inside the pit just a little bit from your cooler zone over to your hotter zone, just to make sure that they finish at the same time.
Open up the lid, and these chuck roasts have been on here for under 4 hours, but they're starting to get pretty good color. Let's check the temps and see where we're at.
Oh yeah. 66. Yeah, a little cool over here, but not bad. Check this one. Oh yeah. The chuck roasts are reading all over 160 degrees. We're gonna put them in this foil pan and bring them up to probe tenderness. Might be around 200, might be right around 202, something like that. Just take them off, set them right in the pan. Grab our little rack out, grab some aluminum foil, cover them up. And then just to help monitor a little bit, we'll put probe right about there, probe right about there. Now I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes and come back out and check the temperatures on these chuck roasts. And then we're gonna start going for that probe tenderness. Now I started with 5 pounds of chuck roast, so your times might differ if you've got more. Okay, our 30-minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and check out these temps and see how they feel for probe tenderness. Go ahead, pull out our probes again. Don't worry about that steam coming out of there. I can always refoil it. That's what I typically do. You're gonna see a lot of juice in here. Let's see. Yeah. Still pretty tight. 198. 195, so all right, doing good. Okay, we'll take off our aluminum foil, get a new piece, and as you can see, there's no need to actually add any moisture to these. There's a bunch in there. Stick our probe in, and again, I'm just using these to monitor a little bit. I don't even really need them. All right. Give her another 15-20 minutes and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes and then come back out and see if my probe feels like I'm going into a jar of peanut butter. That's the tenderness that you're looking for. When it goes in and it feels like peanut butter, I know everybody says butter, but peanut butter sounds better, doesn't it? Hang on to your britches, we're almost there, and then we're gonna go put them in a cooler and give them a 2-hour nap. Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. When you got these gloves on, they don't work on your phone, so you gotta use your nose. Innovation? I guess I could have just took my gloves off, but my hands are cold. It's cold out today. All right, our 20-minute timer went off. Let's check out the tenderness on these chuck roasts. Running right around 205. 206 degrees. She's feeling pretty tender. She's getting there. This one's 208. Just gonna give them another, this part right here is a little, this is just perfect. End piece is a little stiff still. Give them about 10 more minutes. Sticking right there a little bit. We'll just rotate it. But the rest of it, just pretty soft. Put on a new piece of aluminum foil. I'm not even gonna bother putting the probes back in. We are right there. And we'll just slide this back over on this side again. Actually, I'm gonna rotate it this time. Get it over here. We'll check back in another 10 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes and then I'll check the tenderness again. That'll give me time to drink some beer, and I have to cover it up because people are picking on me because I've been drinking Corona lately. It ain't Corona. It's just another beer with lime in it. And don't worry, I'm not just gonna throw this aluminum foil cover away. I'm gonna use it to clean up my grates the next time I cook on it. Haste makes waste. Okay, our 10-minute timer went off. Let's try it again. Whoops. Sorry, Kent. I am drinking a Corona. Let's see what we got here. Most of it just, oh no, it's not that bad. A little bit of a stick there, but she is tender. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna shut off the pit boss and let this sit and breathe a little bit. Get some of that steam out so it doesn't keep on cooking when I put it away in the cooler. So we're just gonna let it sit here for a couple minutes and let it naturally steam off. We want it to rest for about 2 hours. That way, all that moisture is gonna get pulled back into the fibers of the meat, and it's gonna be dang delicious. I'm really excited to try out that Suckle Buster's 1836 beef rub. Our chuck roasts have rested for almost 2 hours. Let's get into the pulling part so we can start eating. Take off our aluminum foil here. Nice. I don't know if you can see this, but a lot of those juices have gone right back into the meat, and that's what we're looking for. Let's start with this one. Get this one out. I'm really excited to try out this Suckle Buster's 1836 beef rub. After we get some of it pulled, we'll sprinkle a little bit of this on just to give it a little extra spice to it. Now this juice, if you go ahead and put it in the fat separator, you can go ahead and pour it right over the top of this right before you serve. You might want to nuke it a little bit just to get it a little hotter when you pour it on, but it's always extra flavor for this meat. So you just take your fat separator, pour that juice in there, and after it's separated, go ahead. Pour it right over the top. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull. You're gonna have on a chuck roast a few areas that are gonna be maybe a little stiffer. This is good. Just this one little chunk here, a little stiffer than I like, but you can still break it down. I always try to get some of the big fatter grizzly parts out. Nobody wants to bite into a big chunk of fat. Now a lot of people will chop this too, and that's fine. I just usually just pull it. Okay, so now after I get this all kind of squeezed and pulled apart a little bit into some sandwich spread, I go ahead and just add just a little bit of the seasoning, toss it a little bit, get it worked around. There's our pulled beef, and I'm gonna pour just a little bit of Killer Hogs vinegar sauce on there, and we're gonna try a piece. All right, here goes. Wow, that's perfect. Good rub, nice pepper balance in there. You probably can see that there's a little bit of smoke ring on this. If you haven't tried this out, do it. It's really tasty. And one of the reasons why this has become one of my favorites is because it's so simple, it doesn't take very long, and you're eating some smoked beef. Kids come home after school, put it in the microwave for a minute, they're eating a sandwich. With that sauce and that spice combination on this beef, perfect. Give it a try. I guarantee you'll like it. Really taste that pepper in there. This is so awesome. And now let's read a comment from last week's video. John Sahlberg says, "Old style for the win." Now John doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he is an embedded correspondent on the BBQ Central Show. Now, the BBQ Central Show is a very popular podcast, plus YouTube Live, Facebook, and I don't know, he might even do Twitter. Now, if you haven't had the chance to check out the BBQ Central Show, check out the links below. It'll take you over to their website and you can see what time they air. I know they're on Tuesdays, and the embedded correspondents, John, Doug, and Steve, they appear one Tuesday a month. Now, Greg Rempe is the host, and man, does he have the guests that appear on that show weekly. Pretty impressive. Good job, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become a subscriber. Turn on that notification bell like you mean it, because you want to join the Dead Broke Barbecue family. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, so my 30-minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and check the temperature. All right, so okay, so the 30 time. Rip.
Look at the smart move I did. Zip my sweatshirt and the jacket. Didn't even mean to.
1836 beef rub, some suckle from Suckle Busters.